Good afternoon and welcome to the Nantucket Sports Connection and NCTV's presentation of Nantucket Whalers Athletics. We are coming to you live from the high school baseball fields over here on Bacchus Lane for another broadcast of our national pastime. The Nantucket Whalers varsity baseball team will be hosting the Lions from St. John Paul High School. I am Chris Morris, your voice of Whaler sports here on the NSC and NCTV. Happy to be hanging out with another great crew here. Frank Schott, of course, making it happen inside the minivan control room. DC Collins on the call right next to me here. We'll hear from here in a minute. We've also got a great camera crew, including a couple of volunteers, John Ebely and Saquon Francis, and our veteran drone footage guy who is Preston Harriman. Thanks very much for joining us here on the NSC. Before we get to our game preview, I do want to take a moment and thank our founding underwriter for the sports here on the NSC and NCTV, the Nantucket Golf Club Foundation. They have made the children of Nantucket High School a priority to their philanthropic efforts and have continued those efforts with their support of our broadcasts. The Nantucket Golf Club Foundation, proud supporters of Whalers Athletics.
Nantucket Sports Connection would like to thank its founding sponsor, the Nantucket Golf Club Foundation, whose mission is to promote the positive development and enrichment of Nantucket's children. For more information on the Nantucket Golf Club Foundation, go to nantucketgolfclub.com. NCTV and the Nantucket Sports Connection would like to thank our Nantucket business sponsors for their support of today's Whalers broadcast.
Back to the baseball fields here on Bacchus Lane as the Lions continue their pregame warm-ups. The Whalers got off the schneid on Tuesday afternoon. As many of you saw, they defeated Rising Tide 3-1 in another close game. The Whalers' first win on the season. Shea Dwyer pitched an absolute gem. The lefty struck out 5, gave up just 1 run, unearned as well, hurling a complete game for head coach Jack Pearson. He also helped his cause, getting on base twice and scored twice. The Whalers were also the beneficiary of some fielding misplays by a Rising Tide and a little bit of an erratic pitcher as 5 errors and a wild pitch led to all 3 runs for the Whalers. Still struggling a little bit at the plate, only mustering 3 hits as the Tide pitcher Michael Keefe struck out 7 Whalers batters. And that is one of the things that Coach Pearson has instilled in really getting the ball in play. They stranded 4 runners on third base alone, again, trying to get those guys home and got to get the ball in play, at least put it up in the air or get it on the ground. And Ronald Del Rosario Gomez was on base twice. Eli McKeever got the Whalers going in the first, scoring a run on reached on an error, and also had a stolen base. Henry Tejada, Keegan Bedell, and Brock Beamish got hits for Nantucket, and they played so much better in the field than the first game that we saw. Alex Horton had 3 putouts out in right field and doubled off a runner in the first inning. And hey, a win is a win is a win. And they put it together and got it all done. Again, not necessarily for playoff points or league titles at this point, but simply for the guys to get their heads in it. And they have just been working hard day in, day out, staying positive. And Coach has been trying to keep a positive attitude with him as well. So to finally get one of those wins out of a close game, just for that mental aspect, which is so huge in baseball, it certainly helps loosen them up. Hope got that monkey off their back, and hopefully they can get the bats going here tonight and get some swings and put together a couple of hits as they are facing a quality squad on the other side of the diamond tonight. The Lions are atop the Cape and Islands League Lighthouse Division, 7-4 overall, but just 1 loss in league play, so 6-1 coming into today's matchup. They did defeat the Whalers earlier on in the year, 11-1 across the pond, and are certainly in the Division IV playoff picture. The current rankings had them at number 11 in the MIAA's Division IV Power Rankings. Head coach Mike Young has a nice blend of youth, 3 seniors on the squad, and they have been game-tested, playing in a slew of close games. Lions are 2-3 so far in games decided by 2 runs or less, and they have beaten some good teams as well, picking up a win over Monomoy for the first time in 3 years. They beat Abington and throttled Sturgis West 12-2 in their last game, and they have won 4 out of the last 5 games here. So, DC, happy to have you along here again today. Thanks for joining us here. Whalers going to have their hands full again with a talented team, but looks like a little small ball. Got some breeze out there today. What are your keys? I know we've only seen a couple of games of the Whalers, but what are your keys for the Whalers to succeed today and maybe pull out a little upset tonight?
I think it's capitalize on the first win of the season, even though they are 1-9. We were here about a week and a half ago for a home game against Cape Cod Tech, where they were this close.
Yeah.
Lost it 3-2. You mentioned the small ball. Yeah, winds gusting about 15, 20 miles per hour directly in from center field. So getting one up in the air might be an adventure today. I'd also say defense as well. The other thing is St. John Paul III arrived here a little bit late, so they might have a few jitters taking the infield practice and getting underway here this afternoon for what hopes to be a mini upset for the Whalers.
Yeah.
Now, you mentioned that St. John Paul III with a record of 7-4, atop their division. Whalers looking from the bottom, but the only way they can go up. So I apologize. This is my fault. The mic was muted. People could say, keep it that way. So I apologize for that. But 15 to 20 mile per hour winds gusting from center field. Play small ball. It might be an adventure out in the outfield. And for the Whalers, they're getting their first win of the season is something huge. We saw against Cape Cod Tech where they were this close about a week and a half ago.
And Keegan Bedell, freshman pitcher, just his second start as a varsity pitcher tonight. He will obviously be key. I was talking to Coach earlier. He said first pitch strike and first guy every inning. Concentrate on getting those guys out, and that's halfway home if you get the first guy out. But we'll see. I mean, it's anybody's game. That's why they play it. On paper the Lions look solid, but they had to travel over. Maybe a little rough ride over there. We'll see.
Left-handed pitcher on the mound, so that might confuse the St. John Paul III batters a bit. Only a freshman, too, so you can only look up from here.
That's right.
Build for something for the future. As we run down the starting batting order for St. John Paul III, they'll lead off with their center fielder, Logan Orr. The pitcher today, batting in the second position for St. John Paul III, is Henry Rohr. Third batter is Brady Meyer. He will do the catching for the Lions. In the cleanup spot is the right fielder, Colin Buckley. Batting fifth is the third baseman, Max Ingram, for St. John Paul III. First base, Brian Mancinelli. He'll bat in the sixth slot. Left fielder, Brandon Gomes. He bats seventh for St. John Paul III. Shortstop is Tyler Ross. And the second baseman is Jesse Afonso. Home plate umpire today will be Barry Brown. And the base umpire will be Gary Soares.
Fantastic stuff. In defense for the Whalers, again, pitching today, Keegan Bedell on the mound. Eli McKeever, solid behind the plate. It'll be Shea Dwyer at first. Henry Tejada playing second. Ronald Del Rosario Gomez pitching. Felix Abreu on the hot corner at third base. Out in right field, should be an adventure out there. Hanson Dalton, Brock Beamish in center, and Alex Horton in left field.
We've got mostly cloudy skies. Sun has just peeked through. Clouds might play an issue, and the wind will definitely play an issue. 49 degrees is ready to start. As stepping up to the plate is Logan Orr for St. John Paul III. Stepping up to the microphone, the voice of the Nantucket Whalers, here's Chris Morris.
Thanks, DC. Just a beautiful day for baseball. Again, a little breezy, but that's to be expected here as Keegan Bedell, number 5, steps up onto the plate. Coach is heading over to third base here. And we are just about to get underway. Lefty-lefty matchup to get things going here as Logan Orr, again, playing center field, faces strike one to begin things. And we are underway. Always nice to start it off with a strike. And Orr working from the stretch, Bedell working from the stretch, lashed out to center field, but caught, nicely placed, perfectly placed. In center field is Brock Beamish. Got a good eye on it. Good solid wood, or aluminum, I guess, on it. But Beamish in the right spot at the right time for out number 1. So 2 pitches, 1 out.
And that was laced into center field. Did not get up in the jet stream, so the wind didn't have much effect on that, but Beamish tracked it down for the first out. Got to make the freshman pitcher, Bedell, feel good that he can get the first out of the ball game on a line drive to center.
Henry Roy First pitch is a ball to Roy. Number 2, batting from the right side again. He will be on the mound. So we'll see if he can maybe help his cause here with a hit. Strike 1. Good fastball from Bedell there.
Roy with a wide open stance in the right-handed batter's box.
From the stretch, 1-1 pitch. Lifted up in the infield. Rosario Gomez squeezes it as the wind helped keep that inside the infield as well. So quickly, 2 outs here in the top of the first.
Lions making contact, but Bedell with mixing it up a little bit. Some off-speed pitches there, and another right-handed batter. Meyer steps to the plate for the Lions.
Brady Meyer going to be catching. Good stance. Left-hander rips one, and that is a solid base hit up the center field. So St. John Paul wasting no time jumping on Bedell's first pitch as Meyer gets the first hit of the afternoon.
So Bedell was leaning in when there wasn't anybody on base. This is his first test with a runner on base at first. See if the runner distracts him or tries to mix it up a little bit with him.
And Colin Buckley batting clean up. He'll bat from the right side, playing right field today. Takes ball 1. And again, the base runners for the opposition for the Whalers have stolen a lot of bases, and some of that is on the pitcher, as you see Bedell throw back over to first base. Again, Coach Pearson has said, it's not all on McKeever. Yeah. He actually threw a guy out, was 1 for 3, throwing guys out against Rising Tide. But again, you got to hold those runners a little bit as well.
Bedell has a bit of an advantage being a left-handed pitcher, not the fastest move over there. And right now, Meyer getting about a 4.5 step lead off the bag at first.
Yeah, Dwyer also a left-hander. Has a little bit of a hitch in his delivery, so it's a little easier for base runners to get going before he even got it to the plate. But you can see Bedell much quicker to the plate here. So 3-0, taken all the way, and that is a strike right down the pipe. 2 outs here, top of the first, no score. First base runner, solid base hit from Meyer. And a 3-1 count now on Buckley. He is going, doesn't matter, it's ball 4. No further advance as the ball went through McKeever momentarily, but it was ball 4 anyways. I don't even think that should be a stolen base. So a walk to Buckley brings up Max Ingram. He'll be playing at the hot corner for the Lions, number 27. Bats from the right side. First and second, 2 outs here, top of the first. Bedell to the plate, high.
It's a hot of the second baseman for Nantucket, really cheating towards the bag. So if the batter Ingram can go the other way, there's a big hole between first and second. We saw that in the previous home game here a couple weeks ago against Cape Cod Tech, where Nantucket on defense was really playing close to the bag when runners were on base and leaving lots of holes open between first and second and third.
2-0 now the count as Bedell again quickly to the plate from the stretch. Low ball 3. So Bedell finding some trouble here, finding the zone.
Yeah, first 5 pitches he had 2 outs.
Yeah.
Now all of a sudden a runner gets on base and you can see him kind of wavering just a little bit out there.
And inexperience as a freshman obviously could come into play here. Again, first inning too, so. And he will walk Ingram on 4 pitches, and now they are loaded up here for the first baseman, Brian
Mancinelli. And just as we say that, Jack Pearson's going to come out for Nantucket, try to calm his freshman pitcher down. Did great for the first 2 batters. Now he's given up a single, walked the last 2. Bases loaded, 2 outs, just 1 out away from getting out of trouble. But here's where he's got to calm down, take a deep breath, focus on pitching to the plate, not worry about the runners behind him because there's 2 outs.
Yeah, just concentrate on the guy in front of you. That's all you can worry about. And again, got plenty of defense behind you if he puts it in play. Yeah, we got guys that can make a play. So Mancinelli will be batting from the left side, so this is an advantage to the pitcher in theory.
3rd left-hand batter in the lineup so far for the Lions.
Yeah, so wise to go with the lefty for the Whalers. First pitch, ooh, strike, yes, late strike call.
And with 2 outs, Nantucket defense, everyone in the infield playing off the bag, allowing big leads for the runners, especially Meyer at 3rd.
And with 2 outs, you know St. John Paul's off and running with any contact here. Second pitch, breaking ball, misses just high.
Looked good.
So, yeah, looked good from our vantage point, but again, that high strike just not being called so far. So 1-1 the count now. Again, top of the first, bases jacked full of Lions. To the plate, nice stop by McKeever on the bouncing breaking ball. Runs the count 2-1.
And our broadcast position is basically right where you see the cameras on the third base side. We're about even with the bag at third base on the other side of the fence.
So 2-1, Bedell comes to the plate. Strike 2, fastball finds the zone. Again, that's a little lower strike called by Barry Brown. So 2-2 now. Bedell just 1 strike away from getting out of a jam here in the first. Breaking ball, ooh, just misses, and the count goes full. So the runners will be off with the pitch here. So any contact.
Merry-go-rounds in motion right here.
That's right.
All 3 bases
Full
occupied.
count, 2 outs. Bedell to the plate. Ball low, and he walks in a run.
So Meyer comes home to score on the walk. Remember, Meyer started off this 2-out rally with a single, then it's been walk, 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 and that forces a run in, and St. John Paul with a 1-0 lead.
Up to bat now, Brandon Gomes. And he'll be playing left field when the Lions take the field, but they are still in action here as Bedell comes to the plate. Strike 1.
That's another left-handed batter with Gomes at the plate right now.
Bedell working quickly. I like that. 0-1. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss on a low strike.
Yeah, Gomes didn't like that. And Gomes chased that and didn't like it. He was tapping his helmet as he walked out. Buckley at third, Ingram at second, and Mancinelli at first for the Lions.
High ball 1, so 1-2 now. The count as Bedell looks to work out of a jam. Again, he's loaded them up with 3 walks here. He's already walked in 1, but I would say if he can get out of this with just 1 run. Ooh, just missed. Again, that high strike is just not getting called here so far.
Wind might have something to do with it, too.
Bedell might have to adjust to it as well, you know. So 2-2 now the count, 2 outs. Ooh, that must have missed outside because it looked good from the knees. But, again, a full count, and the Lions are doing a good job of working that pitch count.
Yeah,
Bedell's already thrown a bunch of pitches here in the first.
He stared in for an extra second after he delivered that pitch.
3-2 pitch, swing and a miss. Bedell leaves them loaded, and the Lions only score 1 after they had a 2-out rally. So the Whalers will come up to bat. And they got some work to do already, down 1-0. But pretty lucky to only be down 1-0 at this point.
Yeah, and I think
Lions strand 3.
I think Bedell got a little frustrated, but after this first inning, he may recognize
Yeah.
what he's going to get as far as where the strike zone is. It doesn't look like he's going to get that high strike. Of course, we'll have to see what his counterpart does at the bottom of the first inning to see where the strikes are being called. But now he knows the sort of formulation of the umpire, and you have to adapt to that here. And giving up only 1 run after walking 3 and getting a strikeout, maybe a little bit more confidence. Maybe the jitters are out of his system here.
Hopefully so, and he'll have a chance to help his own cause too coming up to bat. He will bat later on in the lineup, bat number 9. But let's see if Eli McKeever can get things going for him. He has played very well. Leads the Whalers in batting average, hits, and runs scored. Also is a threat to steal if he can get on. So
McKeever might have also saved a run, too, with a couple of those balls in the dirt in the top of the first inning as well. So a good job on defense, too, to start this ball game.
Absolutely. So the lineup for Nantucket, Eli McKeever. He'll catch Shea Dwyer on first base, bats number 2. Ronald Del Rosario Gomez playing short today. And Henry Tejada, cleanup, playing second. Felix Abreu will play the hot corner, third base, and bat in the 5th spot. Alex Horton out in left field today. Brock Beamish in center. Hanson Dalton out in right field, batting in the 8th slot. And, as I said, Keegan Bedell rounds out the batting order for the Whalers. It'll be Henry Roy on the mound. Brady Meyer across from him at home plate. Brian Mancinelli at first. Jesse Afonso in second base. Tyler Ross at short. Backs Ingram in third base. Out in right field, Colin Buckley. He will have an adventure out there. Logan Auer and Brandon Gomes in left field rounds out the defensive lineup
So for Nantucket right now, I'd say be disciplined at the plate and try to, again, as we mentioned for Bedell, the pitcher for Nantucket, if you're a batter for Nantucket starting this game in the bottom of the first inning, feel out the umpire, see what his strike zone is going to be, see if you can get a few calls, off the plate.
And again, if this first batter, key to any rally here, you can get this first guy on. About 30% of the first batter reaching base scores. I like those odds. We'll see if McKeever can come up with something here and get a little rally going for the Whalers. They're down 1-0 already. First pitch is a little poke to right field and squeezed by Buckley for out number 1. So one pitch, one out for Roy, just as Bedell did. He's got some quick outs.
Ingram on that, even though the batter is retired. Ingram at third base for the Lions was in on the grass expecting a bunt, not expecting McKeever to swing away.
Shea Dwyer playing first base today. He pitched a gem in the game we called a couple of days ago, Whalers' first win of the season. It must have been outside, looked good at the knees, but Roy, again from the left side, gets that low call. That was a good fastball. 1-1 now the count as Dwyer steps back in the box. Roy quickly to the plate, ball low, 2-1. He's firing some good heat.
Dwyer, nice discipline at the plate, though. Wide open stance for the left-handed batter.
And Shea Dwyer, one of the 2 seniors on Jack Pearson's squad, runs it to 3-1 high on the fastball there. So advantage Dwyer. I'll look for something to drive here.
Ross, the shortstop, and Alfonso, the second baseman, out on the edge of the grass on defense for the Lions.
Ball high, and Dwyer draws a walk. So the first base runner for the Whalers here with 1 out. And Dwyer, not much of a threat to steal, I'll be honest, but he did have a stolen base in the first game, kind of a slight wild pitch. But Del Rosario Gomez can put the ball in play. We'll see if we got maybe a runner in motion here. Nice hole in that first base, second base. They got Dwyer picked off.
Ouch. Right away, Dwyer not really paying attention, had about a 4 or 5 step lead and was just leading the wrong way. So that's retired. That's a big break for the Lions right there.
So the base runner erased on the pickoff, and Del Rosario Gomez will have to do something on his own here.
1-3 on the pickoff attempt.
Swinging a foul tip, strike 1 again. Roy's bringing some good heat. But if you get some good wood on good heat, that usually means advantage to the batter. Swing and a miss, fooled him on the breaking ball there. As Del Rosario Gomez was clearly waiting for another one of those fastballs.
Yeah, he was so fooled, Chris, that he actually stumbled out of the batter's box, too. Yeah. I mean, that was a filthy pitch right there.
0-2 pitch. High, ball 1. Tried to sneak that breaking ball in again. Didn't quite get the strings pulled tight enough. Del Rosario Gomez awaits the 1-2. Swing and a miss. Fastball blown by him. So quick inning from Roy as well, as the base runner picked off, and that'll do it for the first inning. 1-0, Whalers down, but again, lucky to be just down 1-0 after the bases loaded in the top of that first inning.
Del Rosario Gomez he looked like he didn't know what was going on in that plate appearance right there. I think it's also a testament to Roy working so fast and not letting Del Rosario sort of catch his breath and settle in the batter's box and sort of take a see and look at what's going on out on the pitcher's mound, because Roy, as soon as he got the ball back, he was ready to go.
Yeah.
Ready to mow down these batters for the Whalers.
And I like it. I mean, you got to work quickly here. He's firing some good heat. Definitely got a little slightly more velocity than Bedell was showing so far. But Del Rosario Gomez was definitely off balance on that at bat, which is rare because he usually is one of the solid hitters for the Whalers. Maybe that pickoff kind of got in his head a little bit as well, as he was looking to maybe make something happen with the runner on first. So
Tyler Ross, Jesse Afonso, and then Logan Orr, 8, 9, and 1 batters to lead off for St. John Paul III as they lead here 1-0 over the Whalers in the top of the second inning.
Ross from the right side will be playing shortstop today as Coach Scott saunters over to third base. Bedell with the first pitch. fouled off. And Dwyer gave it a run, but ran out of room. So strike one on the foul ball.
The coaching staff for the Lions, too, the third base coach brought out a stopwatch, so I think they're going to time Bedell to see how fast he works to home plate in case they get a runner on, see what his movements are all about.
It could be a pitch ticker as well, but Bedell high with the second offering to Ross. 2-1. Or 1-1, excuse me. Nice pitch. A little off-speed offering from Bedell, and he found the corner. Count runs to 1-2.
Lions are 7-4, Nantucket 1-9.
1-2 pitch from Bedell, off speed, trickling down the line. That'll run foul, as that would have been trouble if it stayed fair. Good hustle from Ross down the line, but he'll have to jog back down and get settled back into the batter's box. Still a 1-2 count. Top of the second inning, 1-0. Lions plated one as Bedell walked in a run, walked 3 in that top half of the first. High ball 2. So 2-2 now.
Bedell taking a little extra time getting back on the mound. Now he's set to go.
2-2 pitch is low, so count runs full again. And again, he has definitely thrown quite a few pitches here already in one inning. Hasn't even gotten to
1+.
1+ indeed. Ross steps out. He has run the count full after going 0-2. Ross awaits the full count offering. Little ball. Del Rosario Gomez should squeeze this and just on the edge of the grass. So Bedell bears down and gets Ross out on a pop out to the shortstop. So 1 down now, and Jesse Afonso steps in again from the left side. Now a lot of left-handers on the Lions lineup here today.
Count them up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them.
There you go. Afonso plays second base for the Lions. High ball 1.
Chris is here. Chris is still trying to figure out my hieroglyphics for the abbreviations in the book. So left with a circle, L with a circle means left, like left-hand turn.
Jack. Good pitch. Evens the count up at 1-1. I'm just happy you're doing it. It was a little tricky trying to do Vin Scully over here the other day.
Well, you got the electronic scoreboard, right, for our graphics, our scorebook here. Got some commercials you got to read off, too.
Hey, you know, we'll do it all. Whatever we can do.
Get the lineups, the pronunciations. Thanks to our crew here setting this up, though. And braving this wind out here today.
2-1 the count. Offering from Bedell, swung through by Afonso. Good fastball, nice velocity on that pitch.
That was one of his better ones, too. And you can see McKeever, we saw this last game, too, sort of setting up with his right leg kicked out a little bit.
2-2 offering to Afonso, low, ball 3. Once again, a full count now. Only been those first 2 batters were the only ones that didn't run the count at least to 3 balls.
I asked a catcher about that. I'll get to it after this pitch, about why they kicked their leg out.
Full count pitch is low, ball 4. And so another walk here, 4th walk for Bedell, and we've only had an inning and a 3rd.
The catcher told me, depending upon where the umpire sets up, with that right leg kicked out and his mitt on the left-hand side, sometimes he can sort of frame the pitch to where the umpire doesn't really see it because the leg might block the view a little bit. So always trying to use that advantage, even if it's for a couple of centimeters or inches.
Yeah, totally. Oh. Throw goes by Dwyer into right field. This could be a 3. He's going to hold up. It's a safe call by the third base coach because it looked like that ball stayed in play. So Whalers got a little lucky there. That could have been a 2-base advance on the errant throw over to first base. So now runner on second in scoring position for the Lions as top of the order Logan Auer takes ball 1. He hit the second pitch he saw out into center field. Buck Beamish made a nice play on it.
Del Rosario Gomez trying to hold the runner on its second, sneaking behind him.
The 1-0 offering. There's a high strike.
Okay.
We'll take it.
Nantucket will take that. Right at the elbows.
1 out here, top of the second. Lions with another rally working here. They've got a runner on second. The 1-1 offering is low. 2-1.
Alfonso with about a 4 or 5 step lead, and then bluffing, taking off, going about a quarter of the way, maybe a third of the way towards third after the pitch is delivered.
He advanced to second on the errant throw, walked to get on base. Here's the 2-1 offering. Dribbled down the line. That'll run foul as Dwyer fields it. So 2-2 now the count. Strikeout here would be huge.
Yeah, or a ball that doesn't leave the infield for an out. That's what he needs right now.
Bedell with 1 strikeout. Got Gomes swinging to end the first. Low ball 3. So once again, full count. We've seen this before.
Yeah, he walked 3 batters last inning and 1 here so far in this inning.
Alfonso scampers back to the bag as Del Rosario Gomez tried to bait him into getting off there, but more importantly, full count here. Pitch is high, ball 4. So another base runner via the walk. And now first and second does bring a force play into play, does bring the double play into play, but more importantly, you got to get strikes here as Bedell has now walked 5 batters.
And nobody warming up in the Whalers bullpen, but Bedell maybe a little exhausted now throwing all these pitches. Henry Roy, the batter, his counterpart, the pitcher for St. John Paul III in the number 2 slot. He popped out to short his first time up. Right-handed batter.
We could use another pop out to short.
Yep. Or a ground ball to short to turn 2.
Yeah, that would be even better. Tejada dances over. Bunt, and it's a good one. That's going to be a base hit. Ooh. Beats it out. Bedell actually made it closer than I thought. That was a perfect bunt.
Yeah, you had that third base of Abreu playing back a little bit, waiting for the runner to come. Bedell was the only one that had a chance.
Yeah.
Fired to first. Runner beat it by a step or 2. Good ball placement, though, and now bases are loaded.
So Roy with an infield hit on the bunt.
That'll bring up Brady Meyer.
Brady Meyer popped out and avoids the van as well. Look out, Frank.
Make sure Charles paid the insurance for this month.
Strike 1 to Brady Meyer.
So Alfonso is the runner at third for St. John Paul III, or is the runner at second. Roy just drew a walk as the runner at first. Bases loaded once again. Same situation as last inning, Chris, except now it's the top of the second, and the Lions are threatening once again to count 1-1.
That breaking ball just hasn't found the zone yet. Little lasher, caught, and nearly a double play, but good play by Felix Abreu to snag the sort of almost off the end of the bat, it sounded like.
Yeah, humpback line drive, and he wanted to go to third, but the runner got back in time, thought about throwing to first, but you don't want to risk it with the bases loaded, and Aaron throw to first, that would have meant 2 runs.
Yeah.
So get the shore out.
Wisely listened to his coach and got back to third, but 2 outs now. Nice stop by McKeever as it dances up the baseline for ball 1.
Meyer had a single and scored the run last inning. He was just retired on the line out. Here's Colin Buckley, the cleanup batter. He walked his first time up.
So 1-0 to Buckley. Good breaking ball there, finds the zone. Evens the count back up at 1-1. So let's see if Bedell can bear down here once again and work out of another bases loaded jam. 1-1 pitch. Again, another good stop by McKeever. This one dances towards first base, but McKeever up and quickly gets to it. So 2-1 now, the count. Again, 2 outs here. Whalers down 1-0. As the Lions scored on a walk walk-in, basically.
Yep.
Bedell walked one in. Good pitch there. Good fastball finds the zone 2-2. Again, the Lions are taking pitches here because they're making Bedell work, which has worked to their advantage so far.
Alfonso at third, or at second, and Roy at first. The runners for the Lions, bases loaded.
2-2 pitch. Strike three looking, and Bedell works out of a jam once again, leaves him stranded 2 innings in a row. And the Whalers will come up to bat, down just 1-0. We'll take a break here on the NSC and NC TV, say hello to some friends, and we'll be back with the bottom half of the second. Whalers down 1-0.
Support for the NSC provided in part by Myrick O'Connell, attorney at law, providing legal services for Massachusetts residents for over a century. Learn more at MyrickO'Connell.com. NCTV and the Nantucket Sports Connection would like to thank our Nantucket business sponsors for their support of today's Whalers broadcast. The Nantucket Sports Connection would like to thank its founding sponsor, the Nantucket Golf Club Foundation, whose mission is to promote the positive development and enrichment of Nantucket's children. For more information on the Nantucket Golf Club Foundation, go to nantucketgolfclub.com.
Back to the high school fields here as Roy quick to the plate, ball one, and the Whalers will have Tejada, Abreu, and Horton, the 3 up, and if it goes further than that, Brock Beamish. And I'm not sure what the conversation is here.
They're trying to appeal to first to see if Tejada went around. Base umpire says no. Barry Brown's the home plate umpire. Gary Soares is the base umpire today.
Whalers down 1-0. Ball 2 again. Roy low with his first 2 offerings.
Yeah, Nantucket in the bottom of the first retired 1-2-3.
They did have a base runner, but it was Dwyer picked off first as he drew a walk. Foul tip.
In the meantime, Lions in the first and second inning left the bases loaded.
Plenty of base runners, but only 1 run. And Pearson now walking down to home plate. He's wondering if maybe Roy needs to slow down here for a second, let his batters get settled into the batter's box, or what they need to do, maybe put that hand back.
Call timeout. Yeah.
Let them get settled in. That's a wise move because Roy is working quick.
Well, I also think they're discussing it's 1-2 on the scoreboard now.
Oh, yeah. So.
And now he was called out. So it was 1-1. The umpire called strike 2. That's what the discussion was about with the coaches. And now he just struck out looking. Tejada did for out number 1.
That was a lot of low strikes there. Roy comes to the plate, inside, ball 1. That's definitely a ball.
Mm-hmm. And that's the second strikeout for Roy in this game so far. You got Del Rosario Gomez to end the bottom of the first and Tejada here to start the bottom of the second.
Outside, ball 2. A little chatter from the bench here finally. The Whalers looking for their first base hit. They've got a walk, and then Dwyer was picked off. There's a little dribbler down the first base line. Fielded and tagged out is Abreu. Out number 2 quickly here. And it'll be Alex Horton playing left field today. He was out in right field in the game we called against Rising Tide. Made a couple of nice plays, including doubling off a runner.
Horton
he also had a base hit. One of the 3 hits for the Whalers.
He's in the 6th slot today.
Swing and a miss.
Just looks like the Whalers are off balance at the plate, and that could be, as we mentioned, Roy and his fast delivery, getting back up in the mound, ready to go once again.
Got a piece of that one, but quickly the count runs 0-2.
But it almost looks like the Whalers are stepping into a batting cage where it's just rapid fire.
Yeah.
You know, the ones that are sort of malfunctioning when you
Right.
get there and you want to duck out of the way?
Exactly.
That's what it looks like for the Whalers at the
0-2
plate.
to Horton. High and outside, ball 1. 2 outs, nobody on for the Whalers, down 1-0 here, bottom of the 2nd. Roy has been dealing on the mound for the Lions and fouled off nicely by Horton. Again, that low strike's been called here, so good job by Horton to tip that one, stay alive here with 1-2 the count. Swing and a miss, however, and Horton has been dealing another 1-2-3 inning. And we'll head to the 3rd inning, top of the 3rd. Scored just 1-0 as Keegan Bedell has worked around a couple of jams here and held the Lions to just 1 run.
Still a conversation between the home plate umpire, Barry Brown, and also Jack Pearson. And I think you're right, Chris. What you said a few moments ago is that the batters don't have enough time. I mean, even at that last foul ball, which made it strike 2, I mean, Rory got the ball back and he's ready to go, and Horton's sitting there still wobbling, trying to get his grip with his cleats
Probably
and
get
in
his
the dirt.
feeling back in his hands as well.
Right, and he's ready to go. So there's pace of the ball game, and of course we love fast-paced ball games as well. But you got to give the pitcher enough time to get set, and you also got to give the batter enough time to get ready in the batter's box, because there's no pitch clock here in high school baseball.
Yeah.
You know, we've got a shot clock for basketball, but it's not the major leagues, it's not the minor leagues where there's a pitch clock.
Yeah.
So give them a little extra time, and no one has really abused that privilege on either side of, calling time after every pitch like a David Ortiz kind of thing.
Oh, sure. Yeah. Well, I grew up in Cleveland, and Mike Hargrove was the epitome of, Nomar was another one that just took forever to get in the batter's box. You got to flip the little gloves.
I mean,
this and that.
these guys, most of them aren't wearing batting gloves either, so it's going to sting a little bit if they hit a foul ball today.
Oh, yeah.
But there's no real need for adjustments.
So we'll see if Bedell can get a little more settled here. Maybe have 1-2-3 inning. Get the balls and strikes figured out here. DC, why don't you take it over here and let the folks know what's going on.
Right on. Thank you, Chris Morris. So we go to the top of the 3rd inning. Bedell on the mound, and the first pitch bounces up there as he will face Max Ingram, Brian Mancinelli, and Brandon Gomes. 5, 6, and 7 batters here in the top of the 3rd inning. St. John Paul III with a 1-0 lead. As left-hander Bedell fires again. This one popped foul back towards the Whalers dugout and into the swamps.
Gone forever.
Good luck. Souvenir. So as Chris mentioned, Whalers have been retired 1, 2, 3 through the first 2 innings. The Lions have left 6 runners on base, left them loaded in the top of the 1st and the top of the 2nd. So Nantucket lucky to be down only 1-0. Next pitch, that was beautiful as it bounced up there off speed pitch, and that definitely had the batter Ingram fooled.
Best breaking ball from Bedell right there. He really pulled the strings on that one.
Ingram walked his first time up. Bedell's walked 5 batters so far. Next pitch, big swing and a miss, and he got him. Strikeout from Bedell, and that is number 3 this afternoon, and that's the first out here in the top of the 3rd inning.
That was probably one of his best fastballs as well. So 2 good pitches from Bedell.
Hopefully calming down just a bit. Here's Brian Mancinelli, the first baseman, in the 6th slot today. He walked and drove in a run on his walk, the only run of the ball game, back in the 1st. Little breezy out here today, wind blowing in from center field. We've got sunny skies, some clouds there. Temperatures, it says 50 degrees, but wind chill might be a factor.
That's a 50 minus.
Ground ball out to second, up with it Tejada, bobbles it and can't make the play. And Mancinelli will be safe. Looked like a routine ground ball that was going over to Tejada at second base, but he bobbled it, couldn't get a hold of it. So now a runner aboard for the Lions.
It looked like he was just kind of taking it easy there, as it was, as you said, a routine ground ball. Didn't get all the way down on it. Didn't get those hands down in that glove, ready to throw it. I mean, all he had to do was flip it over to first base. Had plenty of time, but now a runner on first.
Bedell takes a peek over. Here's a pitch, bunts it down the third base line, and it will stay fair.
Rides the chalk.
Everybody's going to be safe. Mancinelli safe at second. Beautifully placed bunt by the left-handed batter, Brandon Gomes. And now runners at first and second for the Lions. Only one out. They lead 1-0 here in the top of the third. And again, Bedell in a little bit of trouble.
No chance. I mean, we were just hoping that was going to go foul for any chance. So that was just a beautiful bunt.
You said hug the chalk. Yeah, the dirt kept it in play. So now here's Tyler Ross, the shortstop. He popped out to short his first time up in the number 8 slot. Squares the bunt once again. And Bedell will pick this one up, bobbles it for a moment, fires to first. It's high, goes off the glove of the first baseman, Dwyer, and a run comes home to score, and ending up all the way at third base is Gomes. So another error on Nantucket, and now a 2-0 lead for the Lions here in the top of the third inning with just one out. Tough play on that one.
Yeah.
Mancinelli comes home to score. Gomes goes over to third. Ross is safe at first.
That's one Bedell's just got to eat. And another bunt here. Popped up. That's going to be 2. Bedell fields it, throws over to first. Double play.
And now they got him. And that was great for Nantucket. That definitely gets them out of the jam. As Alfonso bunted it up in the air, caught by Bedell, quickly fires to first, gets Ross on the double up, and the side is retired. Lions scored 1 run, though, and they do so on 1 base hit. There were 2 errors, and they leave a runner on base. And now at the end of 2.5, it's St. John Paul III 2, Nantucket nothing, as the bottom of the third inning comes your way in just a few moments. So right there, Bedell bailed them out, but also got them in a bit of trouble with the throwing error. And that's what Nantucket has to be aware of now. Runners on base, it looks like the Lions are going to try to play small ball and bunt it down the line.
Which is, again, a little bit different than they got some good hitters on this squad. Got a couple of guys batting well over 300. They can put the ball in play, but again, a day like today, Coach Scott's probably not wrong in playing a little small ball, and obviously, a freshman on the mound trying to field it. He threw one away, but lucky there. We'll take it with the pop up on the bunt, and certainly that runner with 2 outs or with 1 out should have been a little closer to the bag. So base running error, and the Whalers fortunate there to get out of the inning again. Only 1 run.
Well, you think about it, too. The previous 2 bunts were perfectly executed. Deadened, on the ground, down the line. This one popped up in the air, so I think the runners for the Lions were thinking, okay, as soon as they hear that ping, take off because they think it's going to hit the ground. Not the case as Bedell got off the mound and grabbed it and fired to first for the double play. Good move right there. So the bottom of the third inning will feature Brock Beamish, Hanson Dalton, and Keegan Bedell. 7, 8, and 9 batters to go up against Henry Roy, who has not allowed a base hit so far. Just 1 walk and 2 innings of pitching. St. John Paul III comes in with a record of 7-4. Nantucket coming off their first win a few days ago, 1-9. And Roy's set to go once again.
Beamish had one of the hits for the Whalers against the Tide, and he is a good athlete, also the quarterback for the football team.
First pitch is a ball, so it's 1-0. Here's the 1-0 pitch to Beamish. Strike at the knees, it's 1-1. Got a few fans in the audience today coming out to watch the game.
Got
you can join us.
Cute, almost 4-year-old sauntering behind us.
I think she was giving you some birthday gift lists.
It was indeed.
Grounded back to the pitcher. Roy picks it up, fires to first in time, so Beamish is retired on the putout 1-3.
Good hustle by Beamish. He made it interesting at least.
And here comes Hanson Dalton, the right fielder in the 8 slot today for Nantucket. Whalers trail 2-0. Bases empty. We've got 1 out here in the bottom of the third inning, scheduled for 7.
Yeah, I think fortunate to be down 2-0. And again, they lost by 10 runs to this team not too long ago. So they're in this game. I mean, they're a couple hits away from making this real interesting.
Dalton takes the pitch for a ball. It's 1-0. See if the Whalers try some small ball in the bottom of the lineup. Keegan Bedell, the pitcher, waits on deck. Next pitch. It was at the knees, but a little bit outside. And now you can see Dalton taking a couple of extra seconds out of the batter's box once the pitch is delivered. 2 balls and a strike to Dalton.
Swung through that 2-0 offering from Roy. And really slowing down a little bit here. We'll see.
Roy now steps off the rubber for a moment. 2 balls and a strike to count to Dalton. Bases empty, 1 out, bottom of the third. Nantucket trailing 2-0. Next pitch, swing and a miss. Blew that one by him. Actually, it looked like Dalton swung over top of it.
Yeah, 2-2 now the count.
Dalton now back in the batter's box. Umpire holding up the stop sign. As the next pitch is on the inside corner for a called third strike. Dalton didn't think so. But that is strikeout number 4 this afternoon for Roy, and there's 2 away here in the bottom of the third inning. That hurt.
Yeah, looked inside as Dalton kind of danced out of the way of it, trying to make the umpire realize it was inside, but to no avail.
Here's Keegan Bedell in the 9 spot for Nantucket. And again, our broadcast position, we are even with the bag at third on the other side of the base, or other side of the fence, rather. Kind of close to where you're seeing the cameras pointed.
Inside, outside, hard for us to determine, but at the knees we can get.
Swing and a miss at the next pitch, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. If Bedell can reach base safely, McKeever waits on deck. Next pitch is a strike, and it's 1-2.
2 down, nobody on for the Whalers. Still looking for their first hit.
Next pitch, pop foul, backing out of play. And again, Roy speeding up the pace. Bedell right back in the box. We are set to go once again. Left-hander winds and fires.
Yeah,
and that is a called third strike at the knees. So back-to-back strikeouts as Bedell is the 5th victim via strikeout from Roy. And that will retire the side here in the bottom of the third as Nantucket goes down 1-2-3 once again. No runs, hits, errors, nobody left on base. The end of 3 complete. It's still St. John Paul III 2 and the Whalers nothing here on the Nantucket Sports Connection and NCTV.
So top of the 4th. We'll keep it here, and let's chat about some other sports here, as we've got 2 of the top teams in boys and girls lacrosse. The boys lacrosse team, for the first time in the school's history, in the program's history, atop the power rankings, number 1 ranked team, and they showed why yesterday in another historic win, a great win for the program, taking down Falmouth for the first time in about 5 years. And more importantly, they took down a top-tier team in Division III, so a division up from the Whalers, and a team that they lost to 13-6 off island. They took care of business and beat them in commanding fashion. Really, the score could have been more lopsided if it weren't for a couple of posts hit. 8-4 was the final, and just a total team effort and just a phenomenal game. And they are playing at an absolute elite level. If you get a chance to jump on YouTube, Whalers Nation, and watch some good lacrosse, man, the boys are playing phenomenal. And of course, Coach Lower has her squad once again in title contention. They bumped up to number 2 in the power rankings just today. They were released this morning. And again, they have a great game. Really tough team in the Ashland Clockers, what a great nickname that is, coming into town, and they will make the jaunt over on Sunday. We got some brunch lacrosse lined up for the NSC and NCTV, but man, it's just exciting over at Vito Capizzo Stadium as the lacrosse teams are just absolutely lights out this year. If you get a chance to come and sneak over to Vito, check out some great lacrosse, please do so. Otherwise, jump on YouTube or on NCTV, because it is worth a watch.
Yeah, watch it if you can't get out of work on time. But other than that, you don't have an excuse. Here's a line drive to center field. That'll fall in for base hit. Moving over to cut it off is Beamish, rounding first and headed for second with the double. Sliding in there safely is Logan Orr. Orr lined out to center and also walked, and now he's aboard to start the top of the 4th inning with a leadoff double. And laboring just a bit as he walks back to second base. I'm not sure if he slid aggressively into the bag. Got his uniform a little dirty, but a leadoff double here to start the top of the 4th inning for the Lions, who lead 2-0. 2 runs, 5 hits, no errors for the Lions. They've stranded 6 runners on base for Nantucket. Blanks, zeros across the board.
Steal.
Runner goes from third, and there is not a throw. Sliding in safely is Orr. So he leads off the top of the fourth with a double, and then proceeds to steal third. And now our runner just 90 feet away for the Lions. They lead 2-0. Roy now the batter. He has popped out to short and also had a bunt single. Here's a pop-up on the infield. First base side, Dwyer makes the catch in fair territory right in front of the first base bag.
Just what Bedell needed there, an easy out.
And so Roy is out number one here in the top of the fourth. And you're right, one pitch and one out for Bedell. And here's Brady Meyer. He scored the first run for the Lions after a single, and he's also lined out to third. First pitch to him, swing and a miss over top of that breaking ball. And it's 0-1. Big hole between short. Actually, the shortstop, Rosario Gomez, is playing back on the infield, but the third baseman, Abreu, was only about 3 steps away from the bag at third.
So they are giving up the run here if ball gets...
Ooh. Where'd you park there, Chris?
It's a little further.
I'm borrowing
just beyond where I was.
I am
right
borrowing
there,
a friend's card today, so I might have to dip out of here in a bit if another foul ball makes its way over there.
Pretty good swing on it as well. That hit by Orr, definitely the hardest hit ball we've seen so far.
Next pitch is...
Outfielders playing pretty good depth, and especially in left field for...
It'll be a 1-2 pitch coming up to Meyer. High for a ball. It's 2-2. Orr's at third base. He reached on a double and then stole third. St. John Paul III with a 2-0 lead. With one out here in the top of the fourth inning. They scored one in the top of the first and also one in the top of the third inning. Next pitch to Meyer, and that plunks him on the arm. So he'll take his base down at first. And now that puts runners at the corners for St. John Paul III.
He didn't really lean into it, but didn't do much to get out of the way, that's for sure.
It sounded like it hit flesh, too.
Almost, yeah.
So Orr's at third, Myers at first. Here is Colin Buckley, the cleanup batter. The right fielder walked and also struck out looking.
Got to think runners are in motion here.
Watch out for the delayed double steal.
He's going.
And they go.
Look.
Fake the throw to second to make sure the runner at third stays put. So Meyer steals second.
Again, that one's on Bedell. He didn't even look over at first base.
And again, most teams, they employ that double steal first and third. They send the runner to second, hoping a throw down, and then the runner from third takes off and scores easily.
Oh, just missed.
High for a ball, just barely, as Chris mentioned. It's 2-0 to Buckley. Meyer at second base or at third base for the Lions. They lead 2-0, one out, top of the fourth. Next pitch up high for a ball. Ingram waits on deck.
Got to think maybe warm somebody up here shortly if Bedell gets into some more trouble.
Nobody warming up in the bullpen right now for the Whalers. Bedell's thrown a lot of pitches this afternoon. Next pitch clips the corner for a strike, and that froze Buckley. 3-1 now the count. Again, Abreu close to the bag at third, so a big hole between short and third. Next pitch high for a ball, and he lost him. So Buckley draws a walk, and we've said this a couple times this afternoon. Bases loaded for the Lions again, Chris.
Seen this before?
Yep. Saw it in the first inning. Saw it in the second inning.
And the biggest Whaler killer of all, sauntering to the mound here.
Max Ingram will be the batter. Walked and struck out swinging. But now the bases are loaded with Lions. Orr is at third base. Myers at second. Buckley, who just drew a walk, is at first. Ingram, the batter, walked and struck out swinging. 2-0 Lions.
And we've got a pitching change.
One out here in the top of the fourth inning. And that'll be it for Bedell on the mound for Nantucket this afternoon.
Oh, infield in, excuse me. It looked like he was pointing to Del Rosario Gomez, but he's just bringing the infield in, so they're going to play for the out at home in lieu of double play.
Trying to take away the bunt attempt for the Lions,
Sure.
which Lions have been successful with that this afternoon. First pitch low for a ball. It's 1-0.
Starts with strikes, though.
Three strikeouts so far for Bedell. As the left-hander looks in for the sign. And the 1-0 pitch, low for a ball. It's 2-0. Bedell has also walked in a run, and that was back in the first inning.
He has thrown a lot of pitches.
Still nobody warming up for the Whalers in their bullpen.
3 1/3.
Next pitch bounces up there. McKeever with a great stop once again, and the count now 3-0. Nowhere to put him.
Saves a run with that scoop.
Warriors at third base. Meyer at second. Buckley at first. 1 out. Top of the fourth. St. John Paul III with a 2-0 lead, looking to do some more damage right here. Infield in for the Whalers. Next pitch.
Gets the high straight call there.
Got bailed out with a high strike call on that one. Now it's 3-1.
Buckley's going to be looking for something to drive here, though.
Mancinelli waits on deck. Here's the 3-1 pitch. Tipped into the glove of McKeever, and now the count goes full, 3-2.
He definitely swung at ball 4 there, trying to golf that one out into the outfield.
Infielders still in on the edge of the grass for Nantucket. Runners take their leads, bases full. Next pitch, high and inside for a ball. And so Ingram draws a walk, and that will force home a run as Orr trots home to score. And now with 1 out in the top of the fourth inning, St. John Paul III leads it 3-0. As Meyer moves over to third base, Buckley up to second, and Ingram, who just drew a walk, gets an RBI. And Mancinelli now is the batter. As now it looks like we will have a pitching change for the Whalers as Del Rosario Gomez comes in from shortstop to take the baseball from head coach Jack Pearson. So Bedell's day is over. He's still responsible, though, for all 3 runners on base as he goes 3 1/3. He's given up 3 runs so far on 5 hits. And Bedell looks like he's going to trot out to right field to take over that position. Not an envious position for Del Rosario Gomez to step in on the mound.
He is in a jam already, to say the least. But he is one of the better pitchers for the Whalers. They have about 4 pitchers as far as starting pitchers go. Hanson Dalton also does some hurling, but not an envious position for Del Rosario Gomez as the meat of the order for the Lions, and a lot of light blue jerseys out on the base paths.
So it looks like Bedell will go to right field. Del Rosario Gomez comes in to pitch. And somebody moved to third base.
Maybe Dalton. We'll try and get the number on it.
Del Rosario Gomez taking his warm-up tosses. St. John Paul III leads at 3-0, 1 out. We're in the top of the fourth inning, and the Lions have the bases loaded. Looks like we're just about set to go. Chris brings the pencil, which is smart because he can erase it. I write in pen.
Yeah, Dalton moves over to third. Abreu will play short.
And it's up to Del Rosario Gomez, the right-handed pitcher now on the mound for Nantucket to get the Whalers out of this jam. They trail 3-0, 1 out, top of the fourth. Lions have the bases loaded, though. Infielders still in for the Whalers. And the batter now, Brian Mancinelli, the first baseman, left-handed batter. First pitch is a strike, 0-1. Mancinelli walked and drove in a run on that walk and also scored a run himself back in the third inning. Walked in the first inning to push home the run. 0-1 pitch. This one is roped out into right field, and on a line it is caught by Bedell. Everyone's going to have to get back, and they don't know where to throw it. As the throw goes to home, they throw to second, and they get the double play.
McKeever wisely tossed it to second. Dalton yelling, 2-2. And McKeever was able to beat the runner back as he did not tag up on the line drive.
So they will count the run that scored at home because Meyer did tag up The putout goes 8-4, and Buckley is retired at second base. St. John, you got that? We got all that?
We got all that.
Okay, St. John Paul III.
You're the only one scoring it.
I know. Well, again, another one for the Smithsonian.
Exactly.
So St. John Paul III does score a run. They do so on a one-base hit, and they leave 2 on base. And now at the end of 3.5, it is 4-0 St. John Paul III over the Whalers as we head to the bottom of the fourth with all these changes in just a moment.
Yeah, we'll take a break here on the NSC, say hello to some more friends here, and come back with the bottom half of the fourth inning. Whalers down 4-0.
The Nantucket Sports Connection would like to thank its founding sponsor, the Nantucket Golf Club Foundation, whose mission is to promote the positive development and enrichment of Nantucket's children. For more information on the Nantucket Golf Club Foundation, go to nantucketgolfclub.com. Support for the NSC provided in part by Myrick O'Connell, attorney at law, providing legal services for Massachusetts residents for over a century. Learn more at myrickoconnell.com. NCTV and the Nantucket Sports Connection would like to thank our Nantucket business sponsors for their support of today's Whalers broadcast.
Welcome you back to the Bacchus Lane baseball field here as the Whalers will come to the plate in the bottom half, home half of the fourth, down 4-0. Henry Roy has been dealing. He hasn't given up a hit yet.
On that last play, lining into a double play was Mancinelli. 9-2-4 on the double play, but a run does score. Myers scored before the third out was recorded, so that's why the Lions, well, now they have 3-0 up on the board.
Oh, wow. So they did not count that run because the first out was caught before the runner scored. That is an interesting one there.
Okay. We had... We will have to check.
Yeah.
We'll check. I'll check at the end of this inning. As that pitch is a ball, so it's the count 1-2. We know this. We're in the bottom of the fourth inning. And Nantucket has yet to record a base hit. So top of the order. McKeever, Dwyer, Del Rosario, Gomez. And this one
battling the sun.
Flied out to right field as Buckley is underneath it to make the catch, and there is one away. So McKeever flies out to right. And that'll bring up Shea Dwyer. He walked but also was picked off in the first inning.
10 up, 10 down for Henry Roy.
Dwyer left-handed batter. And it's 1-0.
That is one of the most interesting scores I've seen there, that play, to not have the runner score.
Next pitch, ground ball right back to Roy on a one-hopper. He flips to first in time, and Dwyer's retired on the put-out 1-3. As Lions will get some activity in their bullpen down the left field line. Bases empty, 2 away, bottom of the fourth. Scoreboard says 3-0 St. John Paul III. We will confirm that at the end of this inning. As Ronald Del Rosario Gomez steps in, he struck out, swinging his first time up, swings way over top of that first pitch, and it's 0-1.
Yeah, he's bailing out his head there. You got to keep that in, keep the eye on the ball.
Next pitch, that bounces through the legs of the catcher Meyer. So it's 1-1. Del Rosario is first at bat, and this one here just doesn't look comfortable in the box right now. Lots of movement, although he grounds this one out to short.
Be a tough play.
Ross up with it, fires to first in time, and Del Rosario Gomez is retired on the ground out, which goes 6-3. So another 3 up and 3 down. Whalers, no runs, hits, errors, nobody left on base. The end of 4 complete here on Nantucket. Our score, St. John Paul III 3, Nantucket nothing. We move to the top of the fifth inning. We'll get you what the scoring play was in just a moment as Chris takes over play-by-play in the top of the fifth after this on the Nantucket Sports Connection and NCTV.
The Nantucket Sports Connection would like to thank its founding sponsor, the Nantucket Golf Club Foundation, whose mission is to promote the positive development and enrichment of Nantucket's children. For more information on the Nantucket Golf Club Foundation, go to nantucketgolfclub.com. Support for the NSC provided in part by Myrick O'Connell, attorney at law, providing legal services for Massachusetts residents for over a century. Learn more at myrickoconnell.com. NCTV and the Nantucket Sports Connection would like to thank our Nantucket business sponsors for their support of today's Whalers broadcast.
When you add resilient gardens to your outdoor spaces, you contribute to the long-term well-being of the island. Introduce yourself to the Nantucket Footprints virtual garden tours and find inspiration to cultivate biodiversity. The first tour of a native meadow, curated by the Nantucket Conservation Foundation, is now available for free at nantucketfootprints.org.
There is this mind picture of a drug addict. You're down and out, not somebody you want in the house. But they're our neighbors, they're our relatives, they're our friends.
I still regret not taking that warning like I probably should have.
I truly believe the lowest point of despair is the preventable loss of one's child.
If you have an addiction issue, I want to be able to take care of you. It is an equal opportunity problem.
Need help? Visit addictionsolutionsnantucket.com.
And didn't, obviously the guy on first had already trotted off, but so nice explanation. Del Rosario Gomez, this first offering here in the top of the fifth, high for ball one. Got to start throwing strikes here, guys. They've walked way too many guys. And St. John Paul, again, Whalers are lucky that it's only 3-0. They've left the bases loaded twice. They've left 9 base runners out there, which is about 8 too many.
Yeah, because of the force play, you're right. Left the bases loaded in all 3 innings.
Yep. Then it'll be 10 because they left one in the third or fourth as well. Outside for ball 2, 2-1. Top of the fifth here. Whalers down 3-0. Rosario Gomez on the mound, took over for Keegan Bedell, and the freshman worked around a couple of jams. Ooh, just missed. Must have been outside. Again, looked good at the knees. From, again, as DC has explained, from where we are, it's hard for us to see inside, outside, but the 3-1 offering from Del Rosario Gomez, outside and high on that one, and another walk. And that leadoff runner is usually trouble. And Del Rosario Gomez a little frustrated himself. He knew it. And he'll have to keep an eye on the runner at first, who is Brandon Gomes. Tyler Ross now steps to the plate playing short in the 8-hole. Low ball 1.
Ross today has popped out to short and reached on an error by the starting pitcher, Bedell.
Alfonso on deck, and if it gets to Orr, which it should, unless a double play happens, it'll be back to the top of the order for the Lions, already up 3-0. Nice move by Del Rosario Gomez.
Ross with a wide open stance in the batter's box. And every single batter for St. John Paul III has reached base safely at least once in this ball game.
And down the third baseline, foul. Abreu was hugging that line. Yeah, so it's Abreu back at third base, so we got a new shortstop. Tejada's now at shortstop, so who's out? We got to find out who's out in right field. Runner goes, throw is high and safe. Sliding in to second base is Gomes. He'll pick up another stolen base. 2-1. The count to the batter, Ross. To third base. Throw over is in time. Runner advances to third, however. So 1 out. But the runner advances to third wisely as Abreu was able to make a nice throw.
And I'll bring up Jesse Afonso. Walked, reached to third on an error, and also lined into that 1-3 double play, which saved a run.
First pitch is a strike. So Rosario Gomez doing a better job despite the walk to Gomes, as he's been firing in there, finding the zone. The 0-1 offering is over the shortstop. Booted, and that'll be a run and another error on the Whalers, as the score is now definitely 4-0.
And Gomes comes home to score. Afonso sharply hit the short, but it also looked like Abreu just didn't get down on it and had to go off the heel of his glove and bounce almost all the way into left center field. Another tough break for the Whalers.
And again, that is actually Tejada playing shortstop now. They've switched up fielders again on us.
And St. John Paul III flips over the lineup. Here's Logan Orr. Lined out to center, walked, doubled, and scored a run last inning.
Strike one. So just 1 out here in the top of the 5th. Good move over to first base, but the runner back easily.
See how big of a lead he takes. About 3.5 steps.
Going anyways. Pitch is low. McKeever's throw is low and bounces into second base. So another stolen base for the Lions. One out. So 1-1 to count. Or and a play on behind the runner. Alfonso backs easily. 1-1 to count to the batter. Breaking ball lashed into center field. That could find a gap, or left field, excuse me. So that'll be another run as the Lions are finding their stride here. Del Rosario Gomez gives up another base hit, and another run will cross the plate as Orr drives one in. He's got 2 hits on the afternoon.
Afonso scores easily after he was off at the pitch at second base. So 1 run for St. John Paul III in the top of the 1st. They scored 1 in the top of the 3rd, 1 in the top of the 4th, 2 so far here in the top of the 5th. So a 5-0 lead for the Lions.
6th hit for the Lions. Whalers yet to have a hit. Only had 1 base runner, and that unfortunately was picked off in the first base, the first inning as well.
Pace of this slowing down just a bit, and
Runner going. Low strike, McKeever's throw, high, and another stolen base.
things slowly unraveling here for Nantucket too. You just sort of feel the momentum swing.
Yeah.
Lions feeling a lot more confident, especially on the base paths and with their hitting as well.
Yeah, Del Rosario Gomez from the right side, not quite as efficient and effective. Another steal attempt. McKeever's got a chance here. Ooh. Good tag put down by Abreu, just a smidge too late. Good throw by McKeever, who bounced to third base, but Auer was able to slide underneath the tag. He shows good speed at that leadoff position, obviously. And we'll get a little chat from Coach Pearson. It looked like the ball beat him there. So he's got a legitimate beef here, but tag unfortunately missed.
I mean, we had a good vantage point right here, and yeah, the throw did beat him by about a step and a half, but I don't think the tag was applied in time before he slid his right foot in there. You know, a little frustration too from Nantucket because it's a 5-0 lead, and Lions are still running. Listen, you got to play to win the game. Yep. I totally understand that, but Nantucket has not been very successful throwing out base runners all season long, and definitely not in this game. So, kind of getting in their heads a little bit. So here's Henry Roy, the batter. Popped out twice and also had a bunt single.
Down the third base line, fair. Del Rosario Gomez asking for interference, but to no avail. The run will score, and that makes it 6-0 on the RBI groundout.
5-3 on the groundout, and Orr scores. Rosario wanted interference, but the runner, did his job of staying outside the base path in foul territory. He's not going to get that call, even though he wanted it. But Nantucket did record the out, so that's the good news for the Whalers. And here's Brady Meyer. He has singled, scored 2 runs, also lined out and was hit by a pitch.
So for once, no base runners on for the Lions. Ball goes outside. And 3 runs across here. In the top of the 5th has kind of busted this thing open. Good fastball for strike 1. One pitch. Ingram gets hit by it. You can hear that one. Landed in the
that had to sting.
Shoulders. Yeah, that's got to sting on a day like today. So once again, a base runner for the Lions as Del Rosario Gomez hits another batter. Bedell also hit one.
And this is Colin Buckley, a left-handed batter. Walked twice and also struck out looking.
Low. Meyer doesn't run.
I know you mentioned the girls lacrosse team, their game on Sunday. They're here right to our left, trying to cheer on these Whalers, see if they can get back into it. Good support.
Practice over there on the field next to us.
Yeah, remember last time when I brought the blanket?
Yeah, you should have had the blanket, hot chocolate. You should have had the whole shebang.
Sorry.
Tonight. we need a heater in here. We're out in the open.
Hand warmers.
2-0 now, the count to the batter. Buckley, and Rosario Gomez is going to have to bear down here and get out of the inning. Lashed out to left field, rounding it and making the play for out number 2. No, out number 3. Yeah, I was wondering why he threw it in so quickly. So sharply hit ball, but right to the left fielder, and the Whalers will come to bat here now down 6-0 as 3 runs came across here. So it's 6 runs, 6 hits, and another base runner left on the base paths. 10 in total now for the Lions, as this game could be even more lopsided. But the Whalers got to get the bats going here. They have yet to record a hit against Henry Roy. He has been dealing. 1, 2, 3, 5 strikeouts for Roy. And it'll be Henry Tejada, Felix Abreu, and Alex Horton, the 3 due up for the Whalers. 3, 4, 5, or 4, 5, 6, excuse me.
We don't see any activity in either bullpen right now. I think they'll let Roy, unless he gets into lots of trouble.
Yeah.
He's throwing I won't jinx it, but 0s across the board for Roy right now. Looking pretty good with 5 strikeouts, as you mentioned, Chris. Only 1 walk, too. And he got rid of that runner by picking him off. So no one for Nantucket has reached past first base so far.
He has faced the minimum amount of batters. And, again, he has been dealing.
And if you look at it, only giving up 2 fly balls. The rest have either been strikeouts or kind of weak groundouts.
Yeah.
A couple of them went right back to him.
Fielded his position well, yeah, a couple of putouts.
So the Lions 7-4. You mentioned doing pretty well in the Lighthouse division.
Yeah.
And
Top of the division, yeah.
Nantucket 1-9. The Lions might be a force to reckon with in a few weeks when the MIAA playoffs start.
Absolutely. Ranked number 11 in the D4 rankings. Swing and a miss. Tejada fooled on the breaking ball.
Tejada struck out looking his first time up.
The 0-1 pitch, high, ball 1. Again, I think the Whalers would take any base runner now, so if Tejada can work himself a walk, maybe they put him in motion, but swing and a miss, strike 2. The fastball blows by Tejada.
Yeah, Dwyer was the only one to reach base. That was in the bottom of the first inning. He walked and then proceeded to get picked off right away.
Just gets a piece to stay alive.
And that one clipped off of the catcher's, like his throwing hand. Oh no, his catching glove.
That's gotta
Shaking
hurt.
it off a little bit. Meyer getting some extra time behind the plate. But Roy's sitting there on the mound going, hey, let's go. Ready to go.
Baby, yep. And he's firing. Ground to the shortstop. Quick throw and another out as Tejada unable to beat the throw. So another one up, another one down as Roy.
Yeah, I got to believe that that's part of Roy's success, especially today, is that he is controlling the pace of the game.
Yeah.
He's not allowing the batters. And, you know, Nantucket hasn't really pressed, as we talked about earlier in the game, to step out of the box, kind of get him off of his rhythm. Roy's just getting the ball and firing it home.
And a low strike once again as Felix Abreu, who is back at third base. And high and inside, high and tight. Good fastball, but out of the zone, 1-1.
Abreu,
Nobody on for the Whalers. They're down 6-0 here in the bottom of the 5th.
Abreu grounded out to first base in his only plate appearance. That was in the bottom of the second inning. So again, just a few fly balls, mostly groundouts and strikeouts. Roy has been very effective.
2-1 offering. Down low again, 3-1. Rare 3-ball count here for Roy. He's been very...
This is the first time I've seen him actually like step off the mound too.
Yeah.
That's because the ball went behind the catcher.
Here's the 3-1 offering. Bounces to the plate, and the Whalers have a base runner.
Their first base runner since the bottom of the second inning. That was Dwyer with a walk. Here Abreu walks.
Just their second base runner still without a hit. But
See if he's aggressive on the base paths, but we saw what happened to Dwyer in the first. He got picked off, so you got to be careful. Roy, the left-handed pitcher, with a smooth move over to first.
Horton, strike 1. Good fastball from Roy. Decent lead. Good quick tag, but Tejada back.
And we're watching from here, as we mentioned, behind the fence on the third base side, and Roy with just a little flick over there, just like we saw right here. Almost Andy Pettit-ish.
Yeah, totally.
Those of you old enough to remember who that was, I can't
Nice
believe
long
I'm saying
legs.
that.
Good reference, though. Low ball 1.
Horton today struck out swinging his first time up. Brock Beamish waits on deck for the Whalers.
Back again. 3 throws over already, as they maybe expect something from Abreu over at first base. Just a second base runner for Nantucket. Roy comes to the plate and Horton swings through it.
And if
1-2 now.
if I'm Roy right now, I've got a 6-0 lead. I haven't given up a base hit. I'd let him run all day. I'd let Abreu run around the bases if you want. Yep.
Horton gets a piece, lifts it foul out of play, so stays alive. Count remains at 1-2. We're in the bottom of the 5th. Whalers down 6-0. Lions broke it open a little bit with 3 runs in the top of the inning. Del Rosario Gomez took over on the mound for the Whalers, and again, quick to the plate. Ooh, just misses high, ball 2.
Roy's move is so good to first that a couple of the players and coaches are thinking it's a balk too, but I haven't seen any awkward movement.
No.
And it's a heck of a lot different from a left-handed pitcher to a right-handed pitcher.
Swing and a miss. Horton unable to catch up with the fastball, and that is out number 2 for the Whalers in the 5th inning. 6th strikeout for Roy, and again, he has not given up a hit. Beamish up to the plate, outside with the offering from Roy, 1-0.
Beamish grounded out back to Roy back in the bottom of the 3rd inning.
Outside ball 2.
If I'm Abreu, I'm taking off right here.
Yeah, this is a good pitch to run on if you're going to do it.
Especially with 2 outs. Got to get something going, some momentum for Nantucket.
Not moving. Fouled off by Beamish. Kind of a slap swing at it.
I thought it was going to be a hit and run, but,
Yeah.
you know, I don't think if it was supposed to be, Abreu didn't get the
missed
sign.
the sign.
Yeah, because he was still dancing just off of first base instead of running
Still
towards
another
second.
Opportunity to run. Not running. Beamish takes low, ball 3.
If Beamish can get aboard, Hanson Dalton would step to the plate, but Dalton also a strikeout victim today.
Maybe a little bit of tiring from Roy. 6-0 the score. He comes to the plate. Oh, Beamish swings at ball 4, strike 2. That was in the dirt.
Definitely
But
fooled him.
Beamish offered at it. Full count. Roy to the plate. Swing and a miss. And that'll do it for the Whalers. So still no hits for Nantucket. We'll take a break here on the NSC. 6th inning upcoming. Whalers down 6-0. You're watching Whalers baseball on the NSC and NCTV.
The Nantucket Sports Connection would like to thank its founding sponsor, the Nantucket Golf Club Foundation, whose mission is to promote the positive development and enrichment of Nantucket's children. For more information on the Nantucket Golf Club Foundation, go to nantucketgolfclub.com. Support for the NSC provided in part by Myrick O'Connell, attorney at law, providing legal services for Massachusetts residents for over a century. Learn more at myrickoconnell.com. NCTV and the Nantucket Sports Connection would like to thank our Nantucket business sponsors for their support of today's Whalers broadcast.
Out to Perry for 3. Good! Nice rebound by Jaquan Francis into Halleck again. Whalers streak ahead, 2-on-1. Shot! Score! That got inside the post. But clear Whalers shot. Save! Paul Allen! Face 2-1. Puts it up from half court. Good! Justin Boyce! Gonna score! Karchik was able to lift it up above LaBelle. Third dribble. Pass. Quincy Sullivan with a good-looking shot and hit. Gets in and scores! Halleck denies again.
Want to welcome you back to the NHS Baseball Fields here off of Bacchus Lane. Whalers find themselves down 6-0. Top of the 6th inning for the Lions. It'll be Ingram, Massinelli, and Gomes due up. Del Rosario Gomez took over for Keegan Bedell, and swinging and missing is Ingram for strike 1. 6 runs on 6 hits for the Lions. No runs, no hits so far for the Whalers. And that's a solid base hit in the gap. Wide turn, but holding at first. Solid base hit for Ingram.
Ingram coming into that at bat, walked, struck out swinging, and also had an RBI walk in the 4th inning. I don't think you're going to see the Lions be that much more aggressive on the base paths.
With a 6-0,
but we'll see.
Hope not, but strike one from Del Rosario Gomez. Good fastball. Finds the zone.
Mancinelli today, RBI walk, reached on error, scored a run, and then had that wacky play that ended the top of the 4th inning.
Inside and low for ball 1-1. The count to Mancinelli. And as you noted, the runner on first staying put here. Nobody out. Runner on first. Del Rosario Gomez tosses over. Runner back fairly easily. And Del Rosario Gomez much more deliberate in his delivery. And that is plastered, but foul. So 1-2 now the count. Mancinelli, he turned on that one.
He gave it a ride, foul down the first base line.
Mancinelli awaiting the 1-2 pitch from Del Rosario Gomez. Throw back over to first. Good move that time. A little tighter on the play there. So we play 7 innings in high school baseball, so the Whalers got 2 more at-bats against Henry Roy, who's working on a no-hitter. Swinging through, McKeever down, unable to get the runner, so another stolen base. That's Ingram now to second base for the Lions.
It's the first strikeout.
Hit and run there as
they tried
Mancinelli
it.
was swinging.
First strikeout for Del Rosario Gomez this afternoon, too.
So Gomes up to bat for the Lions. Low ball 1.
Gomes today struck out swinging, had an infield bunt single, also walked, stole a base, and scored a run last inning in the top of the 5th.
So runner on second. Takes a decent lead. Play on. Ooh, that was closer than the nonchalant save call from Gary Soares there. It's actually a pretty close play. 1-0 offering from Del Rosario Gomez. Out to left field, that's trouble, and that'll drop in all the way to the close to the wall, so a double as Gomes drives in another run.
Ingram comes home to score easily to make it 7-0. St. John Paul III here with 1 out in the top of the 6th inning.
Nice piece of hitting from the lefty, driving it, sort of serving it into left field there, and lots of room out there. And left as the runner scores easily, as DC said. Still a runner on second now, just 1 out. 7-0 our score. Swinging and fouling it off for strike 1 is Tyler Ross.
Ross today in the number 8 slot popped out to short, reached on an error, and then also grounded out to third. Again, as we mentioned, every single batter in the Lions lineup has reached base safely in this ballgame.
Rosario Gomez to the plate. Breaking ball stays out of the zone. McKeever tried to frame it, but no strike called. Count evens up at 1-1. Just 1 out here, runner on second. Fouled off once again, so 1-2 now the count.
Felix Abreu at third base for the Whalers, playing very close to the bag. Now 3 or 4 steps behind it. Of course, the Lions have a runner at second, so he is a threat to steal.
Rosario Gomez swing and a miss. Pulled the strings on that one. for out number 2, second strikeout of the inning.
Second one for Rosario Gomes today as well. And for Nantucket pitching, that is 1, 2, 3, 4 strikeouts so far.
Number 9 hitter Alfonso steps into the plate.
I'll read that for you because I know he walked to reach second on an error, also lined into a double play, 1-3, reached on another error, scored a run, and stole a base.
Steal attempt. Ooh, just in there once again. Good tag applied.
Chris, I have that marked as the 6th stolen base for the Lions today, and we saw that. That was a little bit of a problem in the last game that I was here for against Cape Cod Tech here at home for Nantucket.
It's been a problem all season long for sure, but it's kind of one of those things. It's hard to throw runners out here in the high school game. I mean, they have the advantage. Runners have the advantage.
Yep.
Especially if you got any sort of speed on the base pass, with the Lions obviously do have. So 1-0 to Alfonso. A balk.
Call the balk. Went to his. I think what the umpire is saying is he went to his mouth while he was on the mound or on the rubber.
Yeah.
So that'll force home a run, and that brings Gomes home, and now that makes it an 8-0 lead for St. John Paul III with 2 outs in the top of the 6th.
And Pearson takes an opportunity to teach Del Rosario Gomez, obviously an interesting play. Just a sophomore, Del Rosario Gomez, a learning opportunity, not necessarily arguing the call. And the umpire, to his defense, they gave a nice explanation to it.
Yep. And it's unfortunate the runner was on third base, too, instead of second or third, and it brings home another run.
2-0 now to Alfonso.
So he's responsible, Del Rosario Gomez, for 5 runs. A couple of errors by the fielders, though.
High ball 3. Let's see if Del Rosario Gomez can settle down here and get the final out of the inning. 3-0. Here's the pitch. High ball 4. So a walk in 4 pitches. And that's the third time Alfonso has been on base.
He's stolen 3 bases today himself.
Breaking ball high for ball 1. Alfonso not running on the pitch. See if maybe he gets in motion here. Again, 7-0 now the score on the balk run. Pulled down the first base side. Nice play by the first base coach. 8-0, excuse me. So 8 runs on 8 hits now for the Lions.
And 7 stolen bases.
And a lot of walks.
Don't necessarily see those lines.
Not going, faking, and McKeever holds on to it. High ball 2 from Del Rosario Gomez. And not great body language from him on the mound. Seems a little frustrated.
I think the Lions now have called off the dogs.
Yeah.
Thought so in the beginning of the inning, but they were still aggressive on the base paths.
And we stand corrected as McKeever has to trot down the line. Alfonso faking.
Now they're just teasing.
Base, yeah. And ball 3. It's actually 3-1 the count.
Roy waits on deck.
Throw over this time wisely.
And Del Rosario Gomez again steps off the rubber. Moisten up his fingers just a bit.
Sunshine has poked through. Clouds have kind of gone. Runner is going. Ball 4, however. So no stolen base from Alfonso. No, he's on second now. First and second. And it'll be the number 2 hitter, Henry Roy, who's working himself a no-hitter.
He has popped out to short, reached on a bunt single, popped out to first, and also grounded out to third.
Breaking ball's popped up. That'll swing out of play and into the Moors.
Just one more out needed for the Whalers. They were close, but as you can see, it's pitching.
Yeah.
It's your momentum as good as your next day's pitcher. Roy, obviously, one of the superior pitchers for St. John Paul III.
Inside, ball one. Tried to pull the string on that one, just unable to find the zone. So count runs back even, 1-1.
And for the Whalers, you start a freshman pitcher, did pretty well.
Yeah.
Now a sophomore pitcher on there, just not that much experience.
Good pitch there.
Although, as you mentioned it, Rosario Gomez has to feel good about that pitch that he just threw a few seconds ago.
Yeah. Again, both these teams have younger rosters. The Whalers a little more younger, only 2 seniors and a lot of freshmen on the field here. So, again, the season's just going to be one of those learning seasons. Good stop by McKeever.
Hear the crowd cheering him on, too. Alfonso, the runner at second, and Orr is the runner at first base for St. John Paul III.
2-2 the count. Del Rosario Gomez comes to the plate. Ooh, just inside. Misses, and the count runs full.
Meyer waits on deck for St. John Paul III. Big pitch right here.
Yeah.
If he can get this out one way or another.
Colby Lucas now in at second base, applying the tag. Lucas, an avid announcer as well, joined us on our basketball. Here's a stolen base attempt, and Tejada unable to handle it. The throw home will be late, and another run plated for the Lions as Alfonso scores his second run. Mrs. Alfonso sitting right behind us here, quietly clapping for her son. One of the seniors on the Lions squad, and again, it'll be a trot to the mound as Del Rosario Gomez, unfortunately not with his best stuff here. And maybe just getting to talk.
And see, that was a walk, so there was no real reason to throw down to third base at all. They did it anyway. It goes in the left field, and
I think that's
now it's a 9-0 lead for the Lions.
I think it surprised Tejada or Abreu at third base while he was throwing down, because there's just no need for that. Again, that's one of those maybe inexperienced type plays for the Whalers that, again, you learn from it. You just got to learn from it. And I think that's what Coach Pearson was maybe trying not to chat with his pitcher about.
So Roy walks, and going to second base is Orr, and coming home to score the run was Alfonso.
Brady Meyer stepping into the plate. He's got a couple of hits on the day. First pitch, nice pitch. Little off-speed offering from Rosario Gomez for strike one.
Meyer has singled and scored a run in the first, lined out in the second, was hit by a pitch in the fourth and scored a run, and was hit by a pitch in the fifth.
And a miss. Swings through that fastball, and 0-2 the count quickly. Probably one of Del Rosario Gomez's best offerings there. Good fastball. Lifted foul. Dwyer gives a run, but will run out of room. And stealing still on an 0-2 count and 2 outs, up 9-0.
No comment.
None needed.
Yeah.
Count remains 0-2 on the foul. Lucas is on second base. Del Rosario Gomez deals and hits the batter.
That is the third time that Meyer has been hit by a pitch. So the bases are loaded once again. And didn't really make an effort to get out of the way of that one.
Nope.
But Lions now with runners at first, second, and third, up 9-0, 2 outs, top of the sixth inning. And here comes Colin Buckley, the cleanup batter in right field. He's walked, struck out looking, walked again, and then also lined out to left.
And a hard throw gets the runner. But he pops up Orr. And the Whalers fortunate that the ball didn't go much further away.
Orr is the runner at third. Roy is at second base, and Meyer, who just was hit with the pitch, is at first. And Buckley is the batter.
And we'll have a pinch runner.
Looks like number 20, Oscar Johnson, a sophomore.
And he'll jog down to first base. Placing Meyer on the base paths. 2 down here. Top of the 6th.
The only thing I can think of, Chris, is because it's a 9-0 lead. If the Lions score that 10th run, it becomes 10-0. Whalers don't score in the bottom of the inning, then everybody gets to go home early. That's the only reason why I can see the Lions still being aggressive on the base paths. But I don't agree with it, but I see where the strategy is. If they're cold, they want to go home.
And that'll be a base hit. 2 runners will score, and another runner will advance to third base. That was Johnson, so there's your 2 runs. It's now 11-0. As Del Rosario Gomez has fired strikes, but the Lions are now putting the bat on the ball. That is their 9th hit of the game.
So Orr scores, Roy scores. Johnson, the pinch runner, is now at third base, and it's a 2 RBI single for Colin Buckley. An 11-0 lead for the Lions with 2 outs in the top of the 6th.
Still 2 outs, and good cut.
And they have batted around as Max Ingram now comes to the plate. He started off this inning with a single and a stolen base and scored the first of 5 runs here in the top of the 6th. So now that 10-run rule does come into effect in the bottom of the inning for the Whalers. They need to score at least 2 to keep it going.
And number 17, Ryan Emerald, saunters out, and maybe he will take over on, or he might just be getting some throws in, because I highly doubt that Roy's coming out.
Yeah, if I'm Henry Roy, I'm not giving the ball up. I haven't given up a base hit today. No way, no thanks.
Swing and a miss. Count runs to 1 and 2. So Del Rosario Gomez 1 strike away from getting out of the inning, but damage has certainly been done here as the Lions have broken it open. From the stretch, the pitch, low, ball 2.
Again, the runner at third base is the pinch runner, Oscar Johnson, and the runner at first is Buckley, who had the 2 RBI single just a few moments ago for St. John Paul III.
1-2 offering, swing and a miss, and that'll get Del Rosario Gomez out of the inning. But as I noted, the damage done, 5 runs in the inning, a couple of errors, a couple of hit batters, a couple of base hits, and the Lions bat around in the inning. We'll take a break here in the NSC, say hello to our friends once more here as the Whalers are down 11-0. Roy for the Lions working on a no-hitter.
The Nantucket Sports Connection would like to thank its founding sponsor, the Nantucket Golf Club Foundation, whose mission is to promote the positive development and enrichment of Nantucket's children. For more information on the Nantucket Golf Club Foundation, go to nantucketgolfclub.com. Support for the NSC provided in part by Myrick O'Connell, attorney at law, providing legal services for Massachusetts residents for over a century. Learn more at myrickoconnell.com. NCTV and the Nantucket Sports Connection would like to thank our Nantucket business sponsors for their support of today's Whalers broadcast.
back to the NHS Baseball Field here off of Bacchus Lane. We are in the bottom of the 6th inning, and to everyone's surprise, I think, except maybe Roy, Henry Roy, working on a no-hitter, has been pulled. So it'll be sophomore Ryan Amaralt, right-hander, on the mound to close it out here for the Lions. Whalers, again, haven't collected a hit yet. We've had a couple of walks, but really no threat. No runners reach second base. But again, as DC and I were discussing, maybe he's on a pitch count.
Saving for the
maybe
playoffs.
They just need to get somebody working here for a couple innings. Again, Lions in command on the scoreboard. They're up 11-0. And it'll be Dalton, Bedell, and McKeever.
Actually, Kobe Lucas, who came in last inning, is now the batter for Dalton.
Gotcha.
Yeah, we didn't see Roy laboring or injured or anything like that, so he may be on a pitch count. I mean, Nantucket really didn't put up a fight against him, but hey, the coach is the reason for the coach to be the coach.
We're just speculating over here. Kobe Lucas, good kid, sophomore, came into the game and is playing at second base now. 1-2 the count to Lucas, off speed, and he fooled him.
Ouch.
So out number 1 via the strikeout.
It's the first strikeout for Amaral, but 8th strikeout total for St. John Paul III pitching today.
Yeah. It'll be Keegan Bedell stepping to the plate again, batting from the right side, facing Amaral. High ball 1.
Bedell struck out looking his first time up.
We are in the bottom of the 6th, so unless the Whalers can plate one.
10-run mercy rule in effect.
High ball 2. Need a base runner.
McKeever waits on deck. McKeever 0 for 2 today with 2 flyouts to right field. It's the only one that really gave any oomph at the plate for Nantucket today.
And a high strike from Amaral. Runs the count to 2-1.
Well, hopefully Girls Lacrosse will have some better luck on Sunday. We got that game on the Nantucket Sports Connection and NCTV.
And he beans him. Obviously not on purpose there, but that is a base runner for the Whalers. Just the 3rd base runner for the Whalers all day. And that brings up the top of the order, Eli McKeever. He's played a heck of a good catcher today, and he has all season long. Definitely saved a couple of runs on some nice scoops. And we'll see if they get Bedell in motion here. Again, he started the game on the mound. Worked around some jams. Again, left a few runners on base. Left the bases loaded in the 1st, bases loaded in the 3rd.
Shea Dwyer's on deck. He's 0 for 1 today. Reached base on a walk and also grounded out back to the pitcher.
And ball to the first base side. He'll step on first, and the runner will advance to second. But 2 outs now for Dwyer. But Bedell represents a runner in scoring position. Let's see if Dwyer can get it done here. Otherwise, this will be the end of the game. Big lead. And to the plate comes Arnold.
Yeah, he does not need to worry about Dwyer at second base whatsoever.
So Dwyer fouls off the low pitch for strike 1. 0-1.
I'm sorry.
11-0 the inning.
Bedell at first base. Dwyer at the plate.
High ball 1. Count evens at 1-1. Again, the Lions, the premier team in the Lighthouse division of the Cape and Islands League. Nauset, Falmouth, top of the Atlantic division, where the Whalers are located.
I'm impressed. 7-4 record. Not sure if you throw Roy out there every other day.
Yeah. Dwyer hits one to the second base, eats him up, and it'll be a run scored for the Whalers as Dwyer reaches first base on the error. 11-1 now.
But Dell did a good job of dancing around on second base and was ready to come home to score. And an error against the second baseman for the Lions, but Nantucket finally on the board. Still without a base hit.
Still out of base hit.
But they do have a run scored.
Got a run in. So it'll be Del Rosario Gomez to the plate, facing Arnold Emerald. Second time I've mispronounced his name. Apologies.
Del Rosario Gomez struck out swinging in the bottom of the first and also grounded out to short in the bottom of the fourth inning.
Dwyer takes his lead. Pitch to Del Rosario Gomez is a strike.
If he can reach base safely, it'll be Henry Tejada, the cleanup batter for the Whalers, to step up.
Again, 2 outs in the inning, so it still should be, in theory, the end of the game with a 10-run lead. Swing and a miss, strike 2, so the Whalers down to their final strike. (11-1) our score. 0-2 the count. Emerald comes to the plate. Fouled off, coming right to us.
You ever catch a foul ball in any of your games?
Not yet.
Guardians games, Indians games
I've
back in the day?
I caught one. I went to a spring training game.
Okay.
A few years back. We went down into Fort Myers. It wasn't the Red Sox game, but we got one there. It was pretty fun. We did go to Fenway not too long ago. My daughters and I, first game for them.
Yep.
And 2 rows up.
Okay.
I got one. It was real close.
Now, the one that you caught, though, did you save anybody from getting hit?
No, it was very few in the crowd at that
Gotcha.
point. Yeah. And Tejada, there's a ground ball out from behind home plate and throwing it away. Dwyer's going to get sent home. And no, they hold him up. So second and third on the throwing error now, and the Whalers are in business here with Tejada coming to play. Del Rosario Gomez ends up on second. Erratic throw from Meyer, who has otherwise been solid behind the plate. But a 2-base error has second and third, runners on second and third for the Whalers. Here's Tejada at the plate. Amaral comes to the plate. High ball 1.
Still no base hits for the Whalers, but they keep trying to manufacture runs.
That has been the story of the season for Nantucket for sure, but got to have a base hit here. 1-0 to Tejada. Right on it. Fouls it straight back.
Tejada struck out looking and also grounded out to short. Felix Abreu waits on deck. He has reached base. He grounded out to first, but then walked last inning.
1-1 the count to Tejada. 2 down. Whalers down 11-1. Got to score to extend the game. High ball 2. Speed offering from Emerald. Again, just a sophomore.
Dwyer clapping his hands at third. He's the runner for the Whalers, and Del Rosario Gomez, the runner at second base for Nantucket.
Henry Roy, the starting pitcher, pitched a no-hitter, so still no hits for the Whalers, but they've got to run across the board here in the inning. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Count now 2-2 again. The Whalers down to their final strike.
Big leads for the runners at second and third for the Whalers.
Emerald to the plate. Down the third base line, and that's going to be a base hit. That's going to score 2. Throw to the plate, and they've got him cut off. But a wide throw. And running home is Del Rosario Gomez. He'll score again. So the Whalers with their first hit, a couple of runs, and we'll play into the 7th.
A couple of errors on that play too by St. John Paul III. You're thinking if you're Henry Roy right now, the starting pitcher, you got to be a little upset with what's going on. And now the umpire is
convening here. Let's see what's going on. And it looks like Amaral maybe has a cut
on his throwing thumb on his right hand. So yeah. So Dwyer scores. Del Rosario Gomez scores. Whalers have a runner at second base. A couple of errors on that play as well. But yes, we will continue on as it's now 11-3. Whalers punch through with their first base hit. And 3 runs so far in this inning. And now trail by 8. 2 outs. Bottom of the 7th inning. And the entire infield for the Lions, except for the second baseman is in there checking on their pitcher.
And we'll take a break here on the NSC as they tend to the pitcher. He's got a little cut on his hand. You are watching Whalers baseball here on the NSC and NCTV. We'll be back. Whalers are mounting a little comeback here, 11-3.
Whalers touchdown! He's got it! He's got it! Marty scores! Lane Fields here as they tended to Amaral. Runner on second, 2 down, and number 3, Felix Abreu, the third baseman at bat. The Whalers have scored 3 runs here, so they'll extend the game into the 7th. At least another base hit here, maybe, and we've got another run. Amaral, high ball 2.
Abreu today grounded out to first and walked. Dwyer and Del Rosario Gomez scored on that last play. There were 2 errors. So far, Lions have made 4 errors in this bottom of the 6th inning.
The Whalers did get their first hit of the game as well. Swing and a miss, high strike there from Amaral.
And we talked about it off the air. If you're Roy right now, the starting pitcher for the Lions, you got to be a little frustrated that
shaking your head a little bit.
Taken out of the game after giving up no hits, and now all of a sudden your team's struggling a little bit here in the bottom of the 6th.
Amaral to the plate, swing and a miss. Evens the count at 2-2.
Alex Horton
down to their last strike twice and have now scored 3 runs to extend the game.
Something to build on.
Yeah. Stick with it. Got to play 21 outs. And strike 3 looking for Tejada, and the Whalers are sent down here. But we will play into the 7th as the Whalers put up 3 runs on 1 hit. Again, DC said 4 errors in the inning, so the Lions threw it around a little bit. And it'll be Mancinelli, Gomes, and Ross, the 3 due up to face Del Rosario Gomez here in the top of the 7th. Again, our score 11-3. Our next broadcast will be Sunday as the girls lacrosse team looks to extend their 10-game winning streak to start the season. They look to move to 11-0. They will face their stiffest challenge yet in the Ashland Clockers, another playoff-bound team in Division II, I believe the Clockers are. And they are coming off a win over Dover-Sherborn. Dover-Sherborn won the state title in Division IV last year, albeit a bit of a rebuild, as Coach Lower said, for Dover-Sherborn, but nonetheless, they've still probably got plenty of firepower. So the Whalers have cruised to a 10-0 record here to begin the season, so facing their stiffest challenge by far. It'll be some brunch lacrosse on Sunday. Game starts at 11. We'll go live about 15 minutes before that on 10:45. So if you can join us on the NSC on YouTube, or of course live on channel 1072 in HD on NCTV. Love to see you over at Vito Capizzo Stadium now, obviously supporting our number 2 ranked Whalers girls varsity lacrosse team. The boys with an impressive win, one of those storied wins that they will talk about, certainly. A victory over Falmouth, first time they beat Falmouth in over 5 years. And it was an impressive win. 6 different goal scorers for the Whalers. And a couple of highlight reels. If you jump on Insta, I threw a few plays up there, including a behind the back around the world goal scored by Nola Moskrop. Just a beauty. Only place he could put it was above his shoulder, and he ripped it right in front of the goalie. And Jeremy Jenkinson playing fantastic in the cage. And a very impressive win from Coach Aloisi and his staff. Again, it was a total team effort, though. Defensively unbelievable. Do got to say, I don't know, we haven't heard details on Griffin Starr. He left the game with an injury to his hand, or wrist, actually. Hopefully he is okay, because he is a key cog on the defensive side of things for the Whalers moving forward.
Both those teams should have a few home playoff games after Memorial Day.
If they stay in that top 4 even, they will have, again, barring an upset, 3 home games. So stay tuned for that. We'll obviously bring you as many as we can, as we have a new pitcher for the Whalers.
Felix Abreu is on the mound.
Felix Abreu takes the mound here for the 7th inning, and it'll be Mancinelli. 1-1 now to count. And Del Rosario Gomez comes back to his starting position at shortstop. And that clipped him. Yep, hit batter. What is that, the 5th or 4th hit batter?
We are up to number 5 today. You know, I was kind of hoping they kept Roy in, too, because I could, if he finished the game with the no-hitter, I could have sold him my scorecard.
There you go.
Get it autographed. Maybe auction it off.
A little something for the effort, right?
But now, we're all over the place. Pencils, pens, all going on. Runs, stolen bases all over the place, yeah.
I don't know if I can even decipher what's going on. So runner on first, nobody out here. Ball is
balk.
And they call a balk on Abreu.
Abreu hurrying a little bit too much, and you might have been able to hear the coaches say, you got to come set and wait for a minute. So now a runner at second base. That's Mancinelli for the Lions.
Abreu comes to the plate. Get to the shortstop. Del Rosario Gomez unable to get the glove down, and a run will score. So another error in the field for the Whalers, and run number 12 crosses the plate for the Lions.
Mancinelli scores easily on that play, and again, just not getting the glove down, not getting in front of the baseball.
I hate to say it, but that's fundamental right there.
Yeah. Even if you got to block it like you're laying down like a hockey player blocking a puck.
Yep.
So this is Tyler Ross, the shortstop in the 8th spot. Popped out to short, reached on an error, grounded out to third, and also struck out swinging his last time up.
Peaver tried to frame it, but ball 1 low from Abreu. Fastball runs high, ball 2.
And looking ahead to the bottom of the 7th, and what might be the Whalers' last at bats, they will have the 6, 7, and 8 batters. Horton, Beamish, and Lucas, who are combined 0 for 6 today. Got to get there first, though, Chris.
Yep. Tyler Ross settles back in. 2-0 the count to him. Pitch. Lash to shortstop. Could be 2. Lucas turns it back to first. Dwyer unable to scoop it. Goes to the backstop. Not advancing is Ross. So they get the runner out at second, fielder's choice. And a runner remains at first base. Looks like Lucas had just a slight hesitation in his glove. Would have been a tight tough play anyways to turn 2.
He also saw Gomes bearing down on him,
Yeah,
too, sliding
totally.
into second, so that can make you a little nervous.
And wild pitch from Abreu will send the runner over to second.
Because when Lucas came over the second baseman to cover the bag to try to tag it, he's looking at the shortstop, flipping him the ball, turns the other way to throw to first and says, uh-oh.
Big dude running down at him.
Yeah, coming right at me, and had a little hitch in his throw right there.
1-1 now, the count to Afonso, number 9 hitter. He pops one our way, and that'll head over to the Muse parking lot.
So Afonso in the number 9 slot reached on an error, lined into a double play, reached on an error, stole 2 bases, reached on another error, scored 2 runs, and walked.
So 1-2 now, the count, 1 out. Runner on second for the Lions. They've added another run here in the top of the 7th, lead 12-3. Breaking ball down low. Good pitch, though, good location.
You know, we're also noticing as we get later in the game, the pitching mound, too, especially where Abreu is planting his right foot, really dug out from where the pitchers have been scraping right around the rubber.
1-2 pitch. Oh, gets the low strike call.
So the balance when you go to throw and when you go to land is a little bit off because you have that little divot in front of you.
Yep.
But a good job right there. Got the strike.
Back to the top of the order. And Logan Auer. We pronounce his name 4 different ways.
Or
Auer.
Spelled O-U-R.
O-U-R. You take a guess.
He has lined out, walked, doubled, singled, walked, scored 3 runs so far, and has stolen 4 bases.
Yeah, he's done a good job at the leadoff position. Breaking ball. Ooh, just missed. 1-1 now, the count to Auer.
And the runner is Tyler Ross, still at second base for the Lions.
12 runs, 9 hits for the Lions. And there's another one. That's a base hit. That'll score another run. Misplayed, and it'll be Auer holding up at first base.
So Ross comes home to score to make it a 13-3 ball game in favor of St. John Paul III. Give Orr another base hit and another
Like
RBI.
our scoreboard is a little wacky here, but we'll see if we can get that fixed up. It is 13-3. Again, 13 runs now on 10 hits. 3 runs for the Whalers on 1 hit. Both teams aided by some errors in the field and some hit batters and some wild pitches. We've had it all here. A couple of double plays.
Partridge in the pear tree,
Partridge
right?
in the pear tree, baby.
And this is Amaralt, who came in to pitch, a relief pitch for Roy. Amaralt getting his first plate appearance today.
Strike 1 from Abreu. Here's the pitch. Hit down the first base side. Dwyer fields it easily and steps on the bag for out number 3 for the Whalers with their final at-bat here in the bottom of the 7th. We'll keep it here and, again,
Thank the crew today.
Absolutely. A phenomenal crew. Again, we've got 2 manned cameras for the first time here for baseball. On one of the cameras,
Saquon Francis.
Preston Harriman helping us out on the other camera, also along with John Ebely, and of course, the man behind all of it, pulling all the switches is Frank Schott, our head producer at NCTV, and of course DC Collins spending some time with us here before he heads over and does his big paying job over at the Chicken Box, celebrating their 75th year.
I saw
Great
that
article at N Magazine.
Yeah, thank you very
showcasing
much.
the boys over there, man. That was fantastic.
We are one big family over there,
Absolutely.
and without those 3 gentlemen and the support of the community too, it wouldn't be happening. It wouldn't have lasted 75 years.
Absolutely.
So they took a tradition set by Willie House.
Yep.
Also Seaweed, Robert Reed as
yep.
well, and they took it over, the 3 of them. That's how big it was. It takes 3 of them to keep it going.
Absolutely.
So thank you to John Jordan, Rocky Fox, and also Packy Norton, and we'll give them a free plug. TheChickenBox.com.
Absolutely, dude.
Great bands coming up.
You
this
guys
summer.
have got an incredible lineup, including Lake Street Dive, one of the headliners. I mean, they are absolutely. I don't know how that one got pulled off, but I know how. Actually, it's $250 a ticket.
Yeah.
So,
but yeah, tickets are available. You can scout them out too. We got Matt Kearney coming, of course, some of the great cover bands. Max Tone will be there tonight and tomorrow. Brandon and the boys, they put on a great show with all the cover songs. So, yeah, I'll see you guys tonight at the Chicken Box. Is there anybody back in the studio staying warm for us today?
Somebody must be.
Okay. Bring us some hot chocolate next time.
Right.
But thanks to the entire crew for coming out today. And
Absolutely. Great
wish
stuff.
we could have a better result right now, but hey, it's a learning experience for the Whalers too, trying to play up to their competition. And a great performance by these Lions. I would love to see where these St. John Paul III Lions are in a few weeks from now in the playoffs.
We'll keep an eye on them. Again, they are ranked number 11 as Horton stands in, takes ball high. But again, they with that pitching, Roy is not their only good pitcher.
And they're aggressive.
It only takes one,
right?
You know,
and the speed on the speed on the base paths too.
Yeah.
You know, you get a line on base here, and in the playoffs, you never know what can happen. They've been very aggressive.
3-0 now.
Horton today 0 for 2 with 2 swinging strikeouts. Beamish waits on deck for the Whalers.
3 runs, just 1 hit for the Whalers. Looking all the way for the strike. Swing and a miss. Runs the count full. And bottom of the 7th here. Whalers down 13-3. But they were able to rally and extend the game in the 7th inning here. And that one's popped up, coming our way. Look out. Stay away from the cameras.
There's somebody in the dugout for the Lions tried to make the catch with a bare hand.
Whew. You win.
No thanks.
I already got gloves on. I'm not even going to try and catch
No.
anything. I'll use the hat.
Especially if you're a player, too. Get your glove out for that one.
Horton awaits the full count pitch and takes high, ball 4. So a base runner for the Whalers here in the bottom of the 7th.
Do you think Henry Roy's saying, hey, listen, we could have been out on the boat by now about 45 minutes ago?
Taking a trip to the bus already, but Amaral, unfortunately, unable to close the deal here cleanly, and we still play on here into the bottom of the 7th. It'll be Brock Beamish swinging and missing at the first pitch.
Beamish today has grounded out to Roy, and that was back in the bottom of the 3rd, and also struck out swinging for Roy's 7th strikeout of the afternoon. And that was in the bottom of the 5th.
And running on the pitch, swinging through it is Beamish. The play at second is not in time, so Horton with a stolen base.
And you hear the chatter from the Nantucket Whalers dugout.
Love
They were pretty quiet through the first couple of innings. Even though they're down by 10 runs. Still yelling and screaming over there, encouraging their teammates.
Gotta love that. 0-2 to Beamish. He waits the pitch from Amaral. Tip, but caught. Oh! They gave him the strikeout. Looked like he dropped it, but apparently squeezed it long enough. Maybe Barry Brown looking to go home as well.
So they all got boats to catch, but they're going to be on the same boat.
1 out now. Into right field, caught. And Horton will have to hold tight as it was not quite deep enough. So first pitch swing, it was Colby Lucas, could put a good ride on it. But that will be out number 2, and the Whalers down to their final out here. And it'll be the top of the order back to Eli McKeever. Oh, excuse me. Keegan Bedell, bottom of the order.
He struck out looking, was hit by a pitch, and scored the first run for the Whalers last inning.
Bedell started the game. He grounds one to the shortstop. Going to be a tough play. Bedell on his horse and a high throw. Good tag. And got him at first. Good play by the first baseman, Mancelli, and that will do it. Whalers rally in the 6th and score 3, but the final score is 13-3 Lions. 13 runs on 10 hits. Whalers 3 runs on 1 hit. And it was Henry Roy pitching a gem. He had no hits through 5 innings, and then
Struck out
Lions.
7 too, Chris.
Lions went to Emerald, and things came unravel for a moment. Again, a learning opportunity for the Whalers. They showed signs, but ultimately the Lions just a better team and put up a bunch of runs on 10 hits, 13 runs on 10 hits. Final thoughts, DC?
I'd like to see what the Whalers, they won their first game, and, they lose this one. It's a tough one to lose to the Lions. Still got a few more games to play.
Yep.
It's more about what St. John Paul III did than what the Whalers couldn't do today.
Yep.
Lots of stolen bases.
Yeah.
Great pitching by Roy, and as I mentioned a few moments ago, I would love to see where these Lions fall into place, not only in the standings where they fit in the playoff seeding, but see if they can advance the playoffs. Because if you have more pitchers like Roy on your staff, this team could go pretty far in the MIAA playoffs. For Nantucket, though, learning experience. We saw a couple balks. Still got a few games to play, but hey, wonderful day for baseball once again, and glad to be broadcasting it on NCTV and the Nantucket Sports Connection. Hopefully we'll have a better result on Sunday with the girls lacrosse team for Nantucket.
Absolutely. Again, thanks to our crew for a great job. We battled through some outdoor elements here, and always an adventure when you get outside and have everything outside. Again, thanks to DC. You can join him over at the Chicken Box and talk about the game here today. We'll probably have it up on
we'll put it on one of the
Channel
TVs.
1072 as the replay comes up. I think it's around 6 or 7 o'clock today. We'll see when that happens. But as always, a pleasure to bring you Whalers Athletics here on the NSC and NCTV. We'll be back at it again. We've got some brunch lacrosse coming up as the Ashland Clockers make a trek over to Vito Capizzo Stadium to face an undefeated girls lacrosse team. So we'll see you then. For the entire crew here, I am Chris Morris. We'll see you on Sunday. You've been watching Whalers Baseball on the NSC and NCTV. Have a great night, Whalers Nation.
The Nantucket Sports Connection would like to thank its founding sponsor, the Nantucket Golf Club Foundation, whose mission is to promote the positive development and enrichment of Nantucket's children. For more information on the Nantucket Golf Club Foundation, go to nantucketgolfclub.com. Support for the NSC provided in part by Myrick O'Connell, attorney at law, providing legal services for Massachusetts residents for over a century. Learn more at myrickoconnell.com. NCTV and the Nantucket Sports Connection would like to thank our Nantucket business sponsors for their support of today's Whalers broadcast.
Out to Perry for 3. Good! Nice rebound by Jaquan Francis into Halleck again. Whalers streak ahead, 2-on-1. Shot! Score! That got inside the post. Quick player, Whalers shot. Save! Allen! Face 2-1. Puts it up from half court. Good! Justin Boyce! Front. Gotta score! Karchik was able to lift it up above LaBelle. Third dribble. Pass. Quincy Sullivan with a good looking shot and hit. Gets in and scores! Halleck denies. Halleck denies again. Shot saved. Griffin Starr. Into it. Aguilar, nice little fake. Runs up and puts it in. Streaks ahead, shot, score! Just like that, baby! That's what I'm talking about.